The day the stars brought strangers. It began like all first contact scenarios, uninvited, arrogant, and deeply miscalculated. At precisely 0422 hours UTC, a vessel the size of an orbital city appeared in Earth's outer exosphere without permission, warning, or even a courtesy ping. It was shaped like a golden dagger, sleek, baroque, studded with protrusions meant to signal power. The Empire of Katal had arrived. Not with peace, not with war, but with expectation. They believed their mere presence would bring humanity to its knees. They expected awe, fear, submission. They got coffee. The welcome that wasn't. Commander Rha of the Katal High Conquest Fleet stepped onto Earth's soil 3 hours later. He was clad in ceremonial void armor, gilded with imperial suns and lined with blooded ribbons from 77 conquered systems. He expected fanfare. He received 3 people and a folding table. Sergeant Lee was the ranking officer, mid-30s, Marine Reserve, currently assigned to orbital debris management. He didn't salute. He pointed to a thermos and said, "Hope you drink black. Kramer's expired." Commander Rha blinked with all 4 eyes. "Where is your planetary authority?" Sergeant Lee shrugged. "Brenda's on vacation. You can talk to me or wait till next Tuesday." Rha muttered something in Katali about feral primitives. Lee smiled. "Oh, we caught that on translation. You're off to a great start. They tried to impress us with a hologram." After the greeting, the Katal wasted no time showing off. A hologram projection the size of a skyscraper shimmered above the Pacific. It displayed planets being crushed, fleets kneeling, civilizations bowing. The narrator's voice boomed in over 1,000 languages. "You now belong to the Empire of Katal. Your servitude will be painless if you cooperate. Resistance will mean the obliteration of your species. This is your one warning." The Katal called it the Declaration of Sublimation. We called it Tuesday. Earth's reply wasn't what they expected. The UN Security Council gathered in Geneva. The President of the North American Union, the Chinese PAN-Bloc, the Eurosphere Speaker, the Free African Coalition, they all tuned in. But the mic didn't go to any of them. It went to Ambassador Riley Quill, a retired kindergarten teacher with a mean side eye and an undefeated record in interspecies diplomacy. She stepped forward, looked up at the massive Katal hologram and said, "If you're trying to impress us, you're doing a terrible job." Gasp. Silence. She went on. "You show us conquered planets like we're supposed to be scared? Honey, you should have brought a better PowerPoint." The feed went viral within 15 minutes. Katal's miscalculations line by line. They thought humanity had no unity. They didn't realize Earth had finally unified after the water wars. They expected factional backstabbing. They got planetary coordination. They assumed tech superiority. Their fastest ships ran on plasma-weaved lattice cores. Ours ran on quantum singularity loops reverse-engineered from dark matter storms. They believed we were emotionally weak. Our art made them uncomfortable. Our humor made them angry. Our sarcasm made them confused and afraid. The first mistake, attempted subjugation by ceremony. The Katal sent a diplomatic force of soft dominion, a psychological occupation method. They beamed neural pacifiers into our comms nets. They pushed dreams into low-orbit broadcast to pacify civilian unrest. Except they'd never dealt with Reddit. Within hours, humans had memed the Katal to death, spoofed their frequency with cat videos, uploaded the entire Shrek saga onto their flagship, renamed the Imperial Beacon AI to Clippy. The Empire scrambled. Was this cyber warfare? We said, nah, just culture. The second mistake, a live debate. Rha, still believing humans were simply too slow to understand their greatness, demanded a public debate with one of Earth's leaders. He got Dr. Amina Okoye, a Nigerian-born AI ethicist and stand-up comedian. Their broadcast was meant to be a show of dominance. It became a roast. Dr. Okoye opened with, "So let me get this straight. You travel across the stars to brag about how many people you've enslaved. That's your pickup line?" Laughter echoed in 12 languages. Rha snarled. "Your insolence is not amusing." She smiled sweetly. "Neither are your pants." Even the Katal technicians laughed at that one. What we did next? We didn't fire a shot. We didn't deploy the Earth Guard Armada. We did something far worse. We embarrassed them. We hacked their comms. We broadcast sitcoms into their command neural links. We replaced their empire's anthem with "Never Gonna Give You Up." They were rickrolled from orbit. The Empire of Katal, lords of 1,000 broken worlds, were now a joke. and jokes spread faster than fear. Rebellion begins on Katal itself. Back on their homeworld, Katali citizens saw the feed. They saw Earth not just surviving, but mocking the invincible. Within days, Katal's rigid societal structure began to crack. Youth factions wore Earth symbols. Underground humor networks exploded. Their control systems buckled under irony. Entire legions defected, not for ideology but for the chance to laugh without permission. Earth didn't conquer them. We undermined their myth. Earth's official message to the Empire. When the Katal emissary begged for a return channel, Earth obliged. A short message played on repeat across every system. Humanity accepts your surrender of dignity. Please try harder next time. Then we signed off with a looping animation of a Katal warbeast slipping on a banana peel. But the real blow? Was cultural. Across the stars, civilizations that once feared the Katal started questioning them. Wait, these guys ruled us for generations? Are they really that dangerous? They lost to humans with memes. The Katal's authority was shattered, because power relies on fear. And Earth had taught the galaxy to laugh. Rhathuan's rage, and the battle he never got. The Katal Empire wasn't used to shame. Their rulers were bred for conquest, born in tanks of engineered confidence, fed on rituals of dominance. So when Earth turned their invasion into a galactic comedy special, Commander Rhathuan responded with the only thing he knew: military escalation. He declared Earth a Tier 5 target, a status reserved for species too dangerous to negotiate with, yet too valuable to outright destroy. A week later, the Imperial dreadnought Etherion arrived at Mars orbit, bristling with weapons that could slag moons. Its hull bore the Katal sigil, a burning eye over crushed worlds. They opened a channel. Surrender Earth's governments for reconditioning. This is your final chance. Earth responded. By sending a jazz band. The ship we sent. We didn't send warships. Not first. Instead, Earth deployed a diplomatic vessel named the ESS Louis Armstrong, retrofitted from a decommissioned carrier. It had shield plating, pulse cannons, and a floating stage on its top deck. The Katal thought it was a joke. It was. But not in the way they assumed. When the Louis Armstrong docked at the Imperial dreadnought, it didn't deploy soldiers. It deployed a full human jazz ensemble, a comedy writer from Lunanet, 3 diplomatic prank engineers, and a chef named Boone who specialized in culinary warfare. Within 2 hours, Katal Command began losing cohesion. Weapons of mass disrespect. The jazz. Humans played swing and bebop into Katal Command comms. The syncopated rhythms interfered with their mental coordination training, which required harmonic purity. Half the officers started twitching. One asked if this was a sonic weapon. Boone replied, "No man, this is cool." The comedy writer slipped jokes into Katal Command prompts. Error 404, your dignity is missing. Press if to fall to Earth's superior vibes. Imperial propaganda feeds got overwritten with deep fakes of Rhathuan dancing in a tutu. The engineers rerouted their environmental systems. Katal soldiers stepped onto what they believed were formal stages, only to be sprayed with glitter cannons and confetti. Several thought it was a new form of psychological warfare. One defected, claiming Earth must be protected for its divine creativity. Boone, the chef's masterpiece. Chef Boone did the impossible. He made Katali cuisine taste good, by ignoring all their food laws. He introduced them to garlic, butter, smoked meat, something called deep-fried everything. The Katal considered it heretical. Then they couldn't stop eating it. Rhathuan banned Boone's kitchen. Within 24 hours, 10 high-ranking officers requested transfer to Earth-controlled systems citing culinary asylum. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the news exploded. Feeds filled with footage of Katal elites recoiling from hot sauce. A Katal commander trying to understand jazz time signatures. A prank involving reverse gravity toilets that cost their flagship 6 days of repairs. Earth's response? Who needs weapons when your enemy trips on their own ego? The Louis Armstrong returned home with its mission complete. The dreadnought left orbit soon after, without a shot fired. The Katal called it a tactical withdrawal for mental recalibration. We called it a win. But the Empire didn't learn, yet. Rhathuan demanded reinforcements. He petitioned the Imperial High Thrones to authorize a full-scale occupation of Earth, for the restoration of Imperial respect. But the Thrones had seen the feeds too. They'd seen Rhathuan become a meme. They'd seen teenagers on 70 Worlds editing his speeches to techno beats. He was no longer a war hero. He was a punchline. And worse, The Katali public liked it. They were laughing again. Laughing at their leaders. The thrones couldn't risk another humiliation, so they sent a different kind of force. Enter the Imperial Intelligence Corps. The IIC was their answer to Earth's cultural chaos. No theatrics. No diplomacy. Just infiltration, black ops, and cognitive destabilization. They deployed 12 agents to Earth's surface. Silent. Hidden. Trained in mental warfare, idea suppression, viral silencing. Within hours, Earth knew they were there. Oh. Because Reddit posted photos. One agent was spotted in Times Square, confused by a hot dog cart. Another walked into a karaoke bar and by night's end had been recruited into a boy band. They were supposed to shatter Earth's cultural defenses. Instead, they got absorbed into them. Agent Zell and the sneeze heard round the net. Agent Zell was their top operator, coded in nanocamouflage, fluent in 70 languages, trained in emotion suppression. On his third night in New York, someone handed him a puppy. He sneezed. The sneeze was live-streamed. Someone auto-tuned it. It charted 3 on Galactic Net within 12 hours. The track was titled, "Bless You, Betrayer." By the end of the week, Zell turned himself in to Earth for asylum. His reason? You made me laugh. I didn't know I could. The collapse of fear. By now, the Katal's reputation was in freefall. Empires run on fear. On the myth of invincibility. But humans didn't fear them. And worse, they made sure no one else did either. You can defeat armies. You can destroy planets. But how do you fight mockery? How do you destroy a species that turns your weapons into party tricks and your soldiers into fanboys? You don't. You retreat. The Empire's final attempt, a duel of honor. Desperate to salvage something, RHA-Thuan issued a final challenge. 1 human. 1 Katal. Single combat. Streamed live. If I win, Earth bends the knee. If I fall, we will leave your planet forever. Earth agreed. They sent Tim Reynolds, a retired MMA fighter, part-time librarian, and devoted father of 4. RHA-Thuan laughed when he saw Tim. Until Tim headbutted him mid-introduction and knocked out 2 of his breathing nodes. The duel lasted 12 seconds. RHA-Thuan's honor shattered on the floor next to his ceremonial staff. He was stretchered out to the tune of Earth's newest anthem. This is how we do it. The aftermath of the duel. Tim Reynolds went home to his family. RHA-Thuan was airlifted back to the Katal homeworld in a coma. Official reports from the Empire called the duel a technical draw. Unofficially, everyone knew. The Empire's Supreme Commander had been taken down by a human dad in cargo shorts and a 12-year-old bandana with "tap" or "nap" stitched on the side. But the real shock wasn't that he lost. It was how many Katal citizens cheered. Signs of collapse in the core worlds. It began on the Katal outer colonies. One day after the duel, protesters in SCI-FI gathered outside the Dominion Hall playing Earth's greatest hits, starting with "We Will Rock You," and ending with "Highway to Hell" under a banner that simply read, "We want the funny people." 2 days later, on Katal Prime itself, school children started drawing pictures of humans, not as enemies but as heroes. One child said during a state-sponsored interview, "If humans can laugh at war, maybe war's not so big after all." The interviewer tried to cut the feed. It had already gone viral. New symbol spread. The Terran emblem, a single raised eyebrow over a half-smile, unofficially adopted by Earth during the meme wars, began appearing everywhere. Sprayed on walls of occupied territories. Carved into databanks by rogue engineers. Printed on drone hulls that defected mid-patrol. A battalion on Glee 6 laid down arms and sent a message. "We're not soldiers anymore. We're subscribers now." When asked what that meant, the captain replied, "We follow Earth's channel. The Void narratives. It's better than Imperial propaganda." The Empire's response, censorship. Terrified by what they called the humor plague, the Katal High Thrones scrambled. They shut down their neural networks. Banned human content. Outlawed Earth's music, literature, food, even colors associated with Terran symbology, orange and charcoal gray for some reason. They called it Operation Silence. It lasted 6 hours. Then someone hacked the central transmission node and broadcast the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air intro on repeat. That night, several thousand citizens gathered in Katal's capital square and danced to 21st-century Earth hip-hop. The uprising wasn't bloody. It was loud. The first imperial province defects. When the entire Zentar system, home to over 9 billion Katali citizens, publicly renounced the Empire and requested associate Terran cultural membership, the galaxy held its breath. Earth had no framework for this. We weren't an empire. We had no system of planetary governance. No ruling council. No military hierarchy beyond basic defense. Our reply? Sure. Here's the Wi-Fi password. Welcome to the Terran Way. Suddenly, humanity was the center of a growing cultural revolution. The Terran Way wasn't written down. It wasn't law. It was understood. Laugh first. Question everything. Prank responsibly. Be kind when you can. Be terrifying when you must. Alien worlds opened Earth centers with comedy clubs, boxing gyms, and libraries full of banned human fiction. On Katal, a rogue news station aired a debate titled, "Were we always idiots or did humans just point it out?" Earth's response team. Seeing the sheer chaos, the UN quickly assembled the Interstellar Chaos Response Unit, ICRU, made up of sociologists, meme historians, martial arts instructors, peace negotiators, and a retired improv troupe known only as the Space Yes-Anders. Their job? To explain, channel, and contain this sudden explosion of Terran identity across the stars. Their results? Mixed. They once resolved a planetary dispute over water rights by organizing a paintball tournament and giving the winner unlimited coffee rations. It worked. The Katal High Thrones panic. Meanwhile, the Empire's throne world turned into a pressure cooker. All three remaining thrones issued a unified command. Earth must be humbled before the galaxy is lost to laughter. They authorized the use of Ash protocols, a forbidden set of weapons designed to erase entire digital histories, destroy cultural records, and silence revolutions with quantum neural resets. They launched the Ash Seed, a weapon disguised as a signal booster toward Earth. It would arrive in 7 days. Its target, the soul of our species. Earth didn't panic, we uploaded everything. The Ash Seed couldn't be physically stopped. So Earth beat it a different way. We flooded the galaxy with backups. In the 7 days before the Ash Seed's arrival, humanity uploaded the entirety of our internet to deep space crystal satellites, beamed Earth's top 10,000 songs into the rings of Saturn, tattooed Wikipedia across cloned cowskin pages and mailed them to 20 neutral planets, uploaded cat videos into Katal AI archives disguised as training data, and lastly, we taught everyone else how to do it too. Suddenly, 20 different species began preserving their own stories, truths, and cultures, just in case. It wasn't just humanity under threat now. It was every voice the Empire ever tried to erase. When the Ash Seed arrived, the weapon reached low Earth orbit. It activated. A silence swept the networks. Then, nothing. Because the Ash Seed hadn't accounted for redundancy. Or resilience. Or that the memes were already off-world, cached on 1 million terminals, translated into alien dialects, drawn on cave walls, sung in zero-G karaoke clubs from Sirius to Seoul. Earth's culture had escaped gravity. The Ash Seed failed. Spectacularly. And the Empire finally cracked. With the Ash Seed's failure, the last of the Katal's loyalist generals surrendered command and broadcast their resignation. Their words: "We tried to rule the galaxy with fear. You ruled it by making everyone laugh at us. We have lost." Back in Geneva, the UN had no plan for this. "Are we an empire now?" someone asked. "No," said the Secretary General. "We're the hosts of a galactic open mic night that got wildly out of hand." The offer. 3 weeks after the fall of the Katal High Thrones, a multi-species delegation arrived in orbit over Earth. They called it the Unity Convergence, a summit of the newly freed worlds. They offered us leadership. Not symbolic, not honorary, real power. "You've proven yourselves. You're the ones who stood when no one else did. Guide us." For the first time in recorded galactic history, 100 planets offered their sovereignty to a single species. We called an emergency session in Geneva. It lasted 10 minutes. Earth's answer was unanimous. No. Why we said no? Humanity remembered what it felt like to be small. To be mocked. To be ruled by the boots of the arrogant. We remembered empires. We remembered thrones. And we wanted neither. So we proposed something different. No empire. No throne. No crown. Just a channel. The crowd blinked. Then we explained. We'd build a platform, not a capital. Instead of ruling, we would build the Terran Open Signal, a galaxy-wide, free and censored network of storytelling, science, culture, and shared madness. Not controlled by Earth. Just hosted. Anyone could post. Anyone could challenge. Everyone could speak. It wasn't about authority. It was about volume. You silence fear by amplifying the truth louder than lies. So we gave the galaxy a mic. And pressed record. From conquerors to curators. Earth became a different kind of center, not of power but of narrative. We turned our servers into star beacons. Our languages became templates for alien poetry. Our comedians opened galactic tours. Our fighters taught defense, not for conquest but for dignity. And our prank engineers? They became diplomats. Turns out you can do a lot more with a glitter cannon and a knowing wink than with a plasma rifle. Tim Reynolds' Hall of Hits. He didn't want a statue, so we gave him a dojo on the moon. Now it streams 24/7. Aliens line up just to spar with the human dad who ended a war with a headbutt. He ends every class with the same line. Balance the joke with the jab. Make them laugh, then make them fall over laughing. And the Katal? They changed. Not overnight. But the next generation stopped looking for imperial conquests and started looking up Earth recipes instead. Some joined Earth's universities. Some joined our comedy circuits. One Katal teen launched a comic strip called Space Dork and the Dirt Apes. Extremely popular. We let them keep their symbols. But their new anthem? Never Gonna Give You Up. It's what they chose. The final broadcast. 10 years after first contact, Earth aired a message across the galaxy. No threats. No boasts. Just this. You all thought we were a joke. You were right. But we're the kind of joke that sticks. The kind that teaches. The kind that survives. Then, over a black screen, the words appeared in 50 languages. You don't have to kneel. You just have to stand up laughing. The signal ended. The galaxy erupted in cheers. And you found this story. You know what it means to see tyrants fall not by force but by farce. To watch a meme burn through propaganda. To witness a species rise not with weapons but with words. So if you're ready for more tales where laughter is sharper than steel. Where humans flip the script. Where galaxies change because someone dared to smirk in the face of power. Then you already know what to do. Subscribe to the Void Narratives. Where humans don't take over empires. They outwit them, outlast them and make them look real dumb while doing it.